First of all, please let the record show. Can we get this to stay? Oh, there we go. Thank you for the container. Emmy gave me a container recently. Hi, everybody. Hi, Ryan Reynolds. You know, I don't need to pay you. Here's Ryan Reynolds. Hi. Hey, New York. Today's World AIDS Day. Right? Yeah, you hear those cracks? Oh, thank you, Arthur, baby. We did change the world. There's no way Trump and Elon are gonna be able to do any of this. Wow, Zoran. I'm moving back to New York to take back our town, motherfuckers. Thank you, Cynthia Nixon. Thank you, the Carol Dunhams, Simmonses. Thank you, the Schneers. Thank you, real estate. Thank you, Rebecca Hall. Thank you, Bridget Potter. People are calling in bomb threats against people on both sides of the aisle, and Speaker Johnson has the nerve to say that violence isn't the American way. Excuse me, let me just make sure. Thank you, Eric Lott. Thank you, Disney. Let me just make sure my Thomas Jefferson. Whoa, people. Who the fuck is Cash? KSA Richmond University? I've never even heard of that school. People voted for Trump because he says the word Bible and he sells his own branded Bibles. Eric Adams is a crook. Bob Menendez is a crook. Matthew Miller is a war criminal. See the difference there? How? I know Axios is pranking me. Thank you, guys. How the New York Times continues to avoid the elephant in the room is beyond me. But it's a feedback loop from hell that we're in right now, my friend. Speaker Johnson says violence isn't the American way. And whoa, I saw him and all those Nimrods descend on Columbia University. Harvard University, I was reminded of today when I checked my notes. This is why I don't look back. My friends, welcome to my play, The Pacific Rim. Oh, whoa, my friends. Today is World AIDS Day. Let me clear. I'm going back to teach neurodivergent kids. They're all twice exceptional, just like we're all two-spirit. If you need to change your body to fit your mind, you are doing things ass backwards. And I know from ass backwards, I am Einstein reborn. I'm the master of the enteric system. Why even Trump knows this? And everybody's been playing me. A Tesla with the wings, Back to the Future, just showed up outside with my Armenian neighbors. I mean, it's really sad what's happened to the Democratic Party, right? I have to say, RFK Jr., in all of his insanity, actually makes sense to me from Los Angeles, where we live by the day. And I'm going to try to keep this one short. It wasn't easy for me to see Kamala completely fumble the ball. Completely fumble the ball, right? Meanwhile, I just come inside and there's a fucking Prestige branded vehicle outside with Oakland on it, right? Kamala knows who I am, motherfuckers, okay? I mean, I don't want to be president, right? There, but for the grace of God go I should not be here, motherfuckers. I was trying to kill myself. And everybody knew it. Because guess what? I am a spy, right? I taught spy stories at Rutgers, Newark, which was infiltrated by undercover NYPD officers during the Bush administration. I ask again, how are Nicole Wallace and Bush's, what's her name, Jenna? How are they working on MSNBC and NBC, right? Because we don't hold people accountable in this country, right? Just wait to read my book, Paralipomena. What was left out? Feedback loops. The ruling class, carrots, and what's the other one? Carrots and whips? I forget. How do you make a bill of law? Well, they haven't done that in forever in Congress. Whatever, people. I activated my third eye. That's the tape that's going up right now. Here's another. I'm doing this every single day, right? I may have to call out of work again because when I show up tomorrow, right, and the kids ask me, how are you doing, Sean? How have you been? I have to say, you know what? On the one hand, I'm great because I'm still here. Right? I survived genocide in this country, right? And by the way, the precedent for Biden being absolutely out of his mind and thereby being taken advantage of, thereby being taken, I said that correctly, that's grammatically correct. I know my grammar inside and out. I always say I hate the English. I'm a Parisian, my friends. And even FDR's policies were bad for African Americans. Nobody has heard of Clyde Woods for a reason. But you see, I have the best team in the business. It starts with Arthur. Arthur is HIV positive. I'm on Memorial time. my friends. How much longer is the American-backed Israeli killing spree in Gaza going to go for? I mean, who was it? Who was it? Let me just check this before I post this. Because see, when I'm teaching, that's when I'm performing, my friends. Because remember, the right, the fascists who run this country and the world, the ruling class, the Clintons, the Bushes, the Obamas, the Harris. Wait, I don't even know who that is. Kamala Harris, my ass. Oprah Winfrey, the color purple girl. Ay, 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 ay. The color purple taught me the power of mourning. What is remembered lives? It's our memory. Fucking Christ. HBO is bullshit. They don't even watch their own programming, right? How does HBO exist after Game of Thrones and Westworld? There is nothing left to say after those two shows, right? This is why Todd Phillips, bless him, and Joaquin and company made Folie à Deux. Double madness. Abso-fucking-lutely. Thank God I found my angel in Arthur, who brought out my singing voice and gave me a reason to live. I see Lena and Lori talking about Jimmy today. Well, I lost my Uncle Jimmy prematurely too, not from HIV/AIDS, but of a preventable cancer. Pancreatic, but nevertheless, chronic illnesses exist for a reason, so that people can't fight back. Thank you for teaching me that, Nan Golden. Thank you for teaching me that, Douglas Crimp. Thank you for teaching me that, Jonathan Flatley. Thank you for teaching me that, Howard Sugarman. I did go to the University of Virginia. And then when I started my PhD program, the City University of New York, a couple of my professors joined me there. Only I was so focused on my job to fucking heal myself that I wasn't paying attention to the network I was building. Well, I see it loud and clear now, my friends. I survived genocide, so it would never happen again. Israeli general in the news. Everything is the opposite of how it should be. And a lot of people have shown me that. Oh, I'm glad. See, my network is huge. I wanted to find the former general who openly criticized Bibi today that I saw. And instead, what I found is the general's plan. Here we go. Right? So here's the New York Times. You hear the sirens, people? Yet Paris is burning. Rome is burning. Israeli generals, low on munitions, want a truce in Gaza. That's the New York Times. Thank you, Laura Poitras. That's the New York Times. On July 2nd, 2024, the day before my beloved Arthur's birthday, also Tom Cruise's birthday, out here I'm regularly compared to Nicole Kidman, who's one of my friends. Hi, everybody. I'm Sean MP. I worked at Interview Magazine. I'm the successor to Ingrid Sishi, which means I own David Remnick and the New Yorker, right? Just like I own the New York Observer, right? I mean, look who Trump just appointed. Charles Kushner, another criminal, just like Trump. But I ask you, my friends, what's the difference between a criminal and a war criminal? When it comes to Americans, there is no difference. Right? Here we go. Israel's military leadership wants a ceasefire with Hamas in case a bigger war breaks out in Lebanon, security officials say. Well, we know that turned out to be false. Let me get the green light there. Thank you, Gus Vincent. We know that turned out to be false. Right, that was July 2nd, right? But here's something actually good from the Middle East Eye, from the Israeli general's plan. Oh, and here from the Washington Post. Thank you, Jeff Bezos, from a month ago. Israeli siege plan for Gaza under scrutiny as U.S. demands urgent change. Well, the U.S. demands urgent change is incorrect. It's all rhetorical. The so-called general's plan is being pushed by some members of Netanyahu's far-right government, despite pushback from the Israeli ... Take me out, part 2, my friends. You can't assassinate me. I'm a Kennedy. A real one. Checking the time. You really want all hell to break loose? Kill me. Or are we really going to become BFF with Saudi? And will this government actually Khashoggi me? I don't picture that because I've got Jeff Bezos's backing. I think I've actually got everybody's backing. Because guess what? Both Francis Ford Coppola and Madonna are from, wait for it, Detroit. Or at least the Detroit area. Zoetrope, motherfuckers. Zoetrope. Right? I would have to check my device. Hey, you hear the crack there, people? Right? Anybody associated with the Biden administration should not be able to work ever again. They should each get whatever cushy payout you get and be done. Right? That's the house cleaning that should happen. Right? That's the house cleaning that should happen. The Democrats are no more. Right? Fuck the Democrats. Why? When we've got DSA and the Green Party. And by the way, Jamal Bowman can go fuck himself. And so can Richie Torres, who used to organize in opposition to the Israeli state. And by the way, the Israeli state, as I always like to say, is a secular state. Bibi Netanyahu is a secularist. It's in their fucking constitution too. which means that he's a pagan. Like we all are, because religion is also performance. And don't I know that? Not only am I a Kennedy, but I grew up literally in the Catholic Church. Jesus Christ. Cynthia Nixon, Mark Jacobs, Lil Nas X, and wait for it, Kristen James with the Y Stewart, and my beloved friend and hairstylist Stacy all have the same birthday. 4/9, the day I experienced that life-changing yet again scrotal scene at General Hospital. Thank you, Karen Bass. It's a shame I have to move back to New York City because I love it out here. It actually is so peaceful. Thank you, Karen Bass. Yeah, there are definitely some criminal elements in the political scene out here, but for the most part, that truce held, people. Anna Devere Smith for the win. I'm narrating my mitzvah story. Okay, before I take my mikvah. Jesus fucking Christ. Leo Bloom is the protagonist of Ulysses by none other than James Joyce, and one of the lead roles, that is, and the producers, my friend. Thank you, SJP. And Matthew Broderick. Right, now let me just see here. What was I looking at this morning? 22 takes forever for these videos to load. Oh, here we go. Yeah. Oh, here we go. Oh, excellent. Yeah. Here we go. Here we go. Right. Well, before we even get to the punchline, in recent months, aid organizations and world leaders, including President Biden, have warned of a humanitarian catastrophe in North Gaza. During that time, Israel has allowed little humanitarian aid to enter. But of course, you can't listen to the United Nations on this anymore because the Israelis have tried to destroy their credibility, right? With the backing fully of the United States, right? Look at what Cynthia Nixon is imposing. Look at what's going on, right? The Israeli regime jails 14-year-olds for sticking up for themselves. Wow. Right? If a bully comes to your playground, you stick up for yourselves. That's called steadfastness, my friends. I love Prada Red, don't you? Here we go. Gettys. I say again, Heath Ledger didn't die because of this, but I'm still here because of this. It stops on my watch. Sorry. Here we go. Former defense minister accuses Israel of committing war crimes in Gaza. The comments by Moshe Yalon, excuse the pronunciation, see, I don't remember the name because this is not somebody that I've tracked, were swiftly denied and condemned by allies of Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu of Israel, who said that they would hurt the country and help its enemies. A former Israeli defense, this is the New York Times, a former Israeli defense minister has accused Israel of committing war crimes and ethnic cleansing in the Gaza Strip, a rare critique from a member of the security establishment at a time of war. The comments by Moshe Yalon came amid mounting criticism of the Israeli military's conduct in Gaza. It's been mounting for more than a year. The Harvard Student Coalition statement was absolutely fucking correct. Okay? I have an apartment in Philadelphia I nicknamed the Fono-Teknion without realizing that fucking baby, went to school a stone's throw away from me, and they jail, I repeat, 14-year-olds for tossing stones at the most lethal soldiers and weapons in history. I was in fucking Christopher Columbus's head once. I live across from Columbus Elementary School now. Thank you to my Japanese friends everywhere. And thank you to my Armenian friends. There are no coincidences. Everything happens for a reason. I live with people who have suffered the consequences of genocide. The United States dropped 2 atomic bombs on Japan, killing that is more than 100,000 people. That to me constitutes an act of genocide, and there I just won my MacArthur for innovations in trans-Pacific studies. Thank you to my Arthur for seeing me. He's my DP. He showed me how amazing I could be if I could kick my drugs and just learn to breathe. Say their names. We're halfway, it seems, to the casualty toll of Hiroshima and Nagasaki in Gaza and Lebanon in the West Bank. They want to clear North Gaza and settle more Israelis there. Again, I remind you, everybody, these are pagans. I'm a person of faith. I have the Bauhaus font universal alphabet. Is it universal alphabet? I have a rare Bauhaus font that's universal something tattooed on my arm. It says the word faith. That's the name of Arthur's first-born niece. And I got the word faith tattooed after the first love of my life, Matt Schneier, broke up with me. I love Jewish people. Everybody knows that. That's why I get to issue